Residency program, this last year we received 900 applications, almost 900 applications. So every year we invite 12 artists to come spend a month in Syracuse. We give them an apartment to live in, we give them a $5,000 stipend, and we give them 24/7 access to our amazing lab facility and staff support. I first saw Zanele's work a few years ago, and I saw it online. And I would say it's difficult for work to have the impact that Zanele's work has online. But when I first discovered her work, I really quickly discovered the impact of her story and what she's doing. There was a video made, I think, maybe a year or two ago, that was a short documentary with her. I forget who made that documentary, but it, I think, did a really nice job capturing her spirit and her energy, and made me both interested in her work as an artist, but also interested in Zanele as a person and her story and what she's looking to say.
Seeing how focused her process is, and also how serendipitous, she seems to find these moments that, and even though it's in a portrait scenario, there's a lot of structure and placement and so on and so forth. There are still these moments that seem to be sheer chance and just magic that just captures. The image that we've been using, the image that will be a part of the fine print program of Lorato. The way the light just carves her figure out is so, just magical, and I think that's the strength of the work, is that, again, it's sort of work with a strong message behind it, and sort of declaring one's identity and declaring one's presence in a space that often rejects certain people.
Well, her portraiture is so powerful in that the images have a certain vulnerability and strength simultaneously, and the women have like an inner beauty. I think there's like the glow in those images. You see their spirit, and as a woman myself who's kind of terrorized by photographs of women in this culture, it's just so refreshing to the dignity that she gives to these images, these faces.
I think I could talk without this.
Yeah, let's see.
Can I?
think this is on. So
Okay, cool. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time and for coming up tonight. It is our great pleasure to have all of you here. We understand that the schools just opened, and last week it was a bit dry, and we could see the leaves fading in the air, that people were not around. And now we're so excited to see that the house could easily be filled like this. For any questions, as long as nobody insults anybody, I'm open to respond to them. And to kickstart this talk, which is more of a conversation than anything else, there are no formalities whatsoever. I'll start with what is at Brooklyn Museum. For some of you, if in case some people are not from NYC and they come from the other side of town. I'm working on this project, which I just continued on here. It's a book with 368 pages, and it's work that dates back to 2006, like how Shane said earlier. Next year, the project will be 10. And it basically says that one continues to journey with the participants in the photographs here. Before I continue, I'd like to thank Lightwork and all the amazing, respectful staff that we have met since we came here. From John to Shane to Julie to Jeff, Trevor on the other side, Shane, Sean, Anna, and Annika just helped us with tech here because that's another challenging part. There are so many amazing people that I've met here. I might not remember each and every person, but the staff have been amazing. And it's so rare to find fine-tuned human beings in one space. And to all the collectors and the funders of the Institute, we're really, really grateful. You know, artists and photographers, they need such support. Not every one of us gets such support that people who come here get whenever they go to different spaces. I'm truly, truly honored and grateful for that. I'll keep this snappy, considering that some people are moving to other places as well. And my projects are always divided into fours, from east, south, west, north, south, east, and west. That's how I tune them. I will show you a short documentary which will give you a sense of some context in which I work. In that way, you get a grip of what goes on when one embarks into a project. And I'll be slow a little bit because maybe my accent won't sound like the American accent. Yeah. So I'll show you 10-minute documentary followed by the installation shot from the Brooklyn Museum. And I'll give you glimpses of what is on there and then, and show you some previous project that one keeps on working on. And exactly four images from what I've worked on here, which is 4 of 31, because my aim was to shoot a new document, a photograph, which counts as a document every day. So if I came here on the 4th, it meant that my last day would have been something else. If I came on the 1st, my first document would have been on the 1st of August, ending on the 31st of August. Because I treat photographies like water, like food. We live with them, we see them every day. We cannot survive without photographs. So that's how I look at photographies. And why I embarked on this project was because I needed some healing. I needed to I have survived so many challenges in my life, and I have survived to speak in front of you today. And this photography keeps me going, and I feel okay, and I feel better each time I take a photograph. So there are projects that I produce with other people or featuring other people, and there are photos that I produce that looks at me, because I truly believe that photographers need to sometimes look at themselves before they invade other people's spaces. But that's not by force. Just for us to do some self-introspection and turn the lens and look at ourselves and deal with our own personal demons as we journey and interfere with different landscapes there and then. So I'll do that and then talk, which won't be long. So I don't know how you prefer it, Brooklyn or the documentary? Perfect. If we had enough time, I would have shown you a lesbian wedding that is on at Brooklyn Museum. And this is my installation shots, and that's the video piece, because I always like to use visual media to even talk further of what I try to do. I always hear that, oh, photographers are shy people, sometimes they don't want to talk about their work. Photographers think we're beyond just artist statements. So this is my issue. So this talks about like this weddings happening on Saturdays and then funerals happening on Saturdays. These things parallel at the same time. A life lost, and also other people are busy, excited, and so on.
I joined the network, as we call it, the family, because being part of Faces and Phases is building a network. I was introduced to Moholi by my cousin, Olebohang, who is also part of Faces and Phases. And then she told me about this project. To be honest, at the time, like we say, there's not much that's written about the LGBTI industries. I think Moholi's work is more recognized and known about outside of South Africa than it is at home. So when she told me about the work that she does, the activism behind it, I thought that, wow, it's very interesting, and I'd definitely love to be a participant, not knowing that I'm sort of like joining a club now, and you sort of become a full-time member into this club that I've joined. So over the years, since 2010, I am now part of the people that did the interviews, collecting the life stories, because we believe everyone has got a story to tell. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be anything, but we're all just collecting life stories and writing about them. For me, it's also been a learning curve, getting to interview people that are older than me, people like a pastor who is very respected. It's not easy to approach a pastor, but then I get there and I interview them, and they give me their respect and they give me their time. Editing copies, so because Faces and Phases is sort of interlinked with Inkanyiso, which is the blog that we work on, talking about collaborations, because collaborations are at the core of the work that is done here. That way, we're all exchanging skills. Someone takes photos, I write. So if we go to a wedding, I don't know what photos you have, maybe you can just be playing it in a slide while I talk, just to save time. So if maybe we go to a wedding, like the last wedding we went to was in April. One of the participants, because like I said, this is a club, we've become an instant family, we support each other through the good and the bad and the otherwise. Colin, another participant, was taking photographs. I was doing the writing. Usis Lindega, who is like an ally, also assists with the photographs. And then the intergenerational conversations, they also go on. So Moholi has an intergenerational conversation with me, and through her other work of doing like photo XPs, where she's training young girl children at one of the schools in Soweto to, for them to also know that photography is a way in which they can make a living for themselves.
And as a young artist, it's I know it's really great to sort of be in the presence of someone like Zanele, someone so, who's had such great success in the arts sphere, and it was also just very encouraging and very, warm. I mean, I feel there's almost like a familial connection now, and again, just sort of watching a very analyzed process that is just very sensitive to these sort of magical moments, but is also very regimented. And I also feel like it's because I've only been in Syracuse for like 2 months, and I feel like I've discovered a lot more of it through her, and just being sensitive to place and working in a very accessible way. She doesn't use any extra lighting. There's no backdrops or anything. It's all available. It's all outside. It's all just the camera and the subject. And photography that is so bare, but is also still just as elaborate as anything else with all the extra gimmicks,
Was amazing. It was really amazing. She has amazing energy. I picked her up at the station, and she just is a beautiful, open, wonderful, lovely human being. and a lot of energy.